الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله قال الله تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون ثم أما بعد. The heaviest thing to sit on someone's soul or to sit on someone's heart or his chest in comparison to or as if someone had eaten too much food and that food was laying down in his stomach, dragging him down, making his body weak, making it uncomfortable, having that bad feeling. Likewise, there are things that do the same thing to the soul and to the heart, which they weigh down on the heart and put pain to the point that it affects someone's function, it affects his mind, how he thinks, and constantly it's an ongoing concern, even waking him up at night. That's even if he's able to sleep at night. A lot of times when we hold these things, the problem is not why we're holding them or who caused us to hold these things in our heart. Rather, it is us. And what I'm talking about is holding grudges or hatred or not forgiven someone, or someone may have hurt you in a certain way or upset you in a certain way, or envy or jealousy. You hold it into your heart to the point that it actually drags you down and starts to affect your day-to-day life, to the point where your whole life now revolves around one episode of your whole life. And normally when we hold grudges, is because maybe we don't understand the situation that we are in. First and foremost, holding a grudge is a type of revenge. You hold a grudge because you want revenge or you want something to happen to that person, like a retaliation. And so when we hold that into our heart, the reality is the majority of times is there going to be no retaliation. Even if you approach that person, most likely you're not going to do anything. Why? Because if you were to do something, you would have done, or would have done those actions at the time that grudge occurred, or the thing that caused that grudge to come into your heart, you would have done something at that time. But to hold onto it in your heart and feed on it and nurture it and build it and start to play all these scenarios in your mind. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I should have done this and should have done that and this is how this and then months and years pass and you're still in the same situation. But now it's become a burden upon yourself. And shaitan feeds on that because he knows that's going to affect your body, that's going to affect your soul, that's going to affect your salah, that's going to affect your work, it's going to affect you as a human being and your day-to-day function. You talk to people, for example, and their rights have been taken away. And they hold grudges. We ask a simple question. Are you able to access your right? Are you able just to go and take your right without causing harm, without possibly causing death? They say no. It is not in my hands. I am unable to take my right. Then we say, well, this is why your right will be taken on the day of judgment. Isn't that enough reassurance that instead of you taking your right or someone else helping you take your right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take your right for you and give it to you. And it would advantage you and disadvantage the other person. But to sit there all the time holding it into your heart, it's going to destroy you. It's going to mentally, physically destroy you and drag you down. And you're going to be asking yourself the same question every day. Why? How come? Why did that happen? Why me? Why is that? Why? How am I going to do it? How am I going to fix it? Constant rotation in your mind, holding grudge, holding hatred, holding things in your heart against other people. Sometimes, yes, those things are justified. Other times, unfortunately, they're not justified. There's no justification for that. So, what is the reward to fight this thing in your heart, to have hatred, to have envy, to have grudge against people? See, the Prophet ﷺ, he was sitting with his companions, and he said, through that door, a man is going to enter, and is going to be from the people of paradise. And one of the companions, he entered. The next day, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that the man that's going to enter through those doors is going to be from the people of paradise. Same man of the day before entered. Then the Prophet ﷺ again said, the following day, a man from the people of paradise is going to enter that door. And the same man, third time, entered. So Abdullah ibn Amr, he said, what's so special about this companion? We want to know. So he came to him and he said, I've got nowhere to stay. Can I stay with you for a few days? And the companion said, no problems. So he stayed with him. And he realized day in, day out, during the nights, he wasn't getting up for qiyam. He wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary other than what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made compulsory for a Muslim to do. On the third day, he came clear. He said, listen, The Prophet ﷺ said that a man is going to enter that door and he's going to be from the people of paradise, and you entered 3 times. And I don't really have a problem in my household. And I only wanted to come stay with you so I see what you do is so different, and why the Prophet ﷺ may have said that you're going to be from the people of paradise, but I see that you do everything as normal, nothing special. But the Prophet ﷺ said that you'll be from the people of paradise. So what is it? What am I missing? What am I missed here? He said, I'm an ordinary man. Nothing special. There is except one thing. One thing. When I go to sleep at night, I clear my heart of any envy or hatred to any Muslim, to anyone. I have no hatred, no envy, no grudges, no beef, as they say, with anyone. Nothing lingers in my heart for anyone. I purify my heart against all these things before I go to sleep at night. And it was this reason why the Prophet ﷺ said that he will enter paradise. So ask yourself this question. How many grudges are you holding? How many times are you envying other people? Or we use the word, oh, we're cut from that person, and we're cut from this person, and we've got issues with this person, and we've got problems with that person. That when you see that person, you look at them, blood is about to come out of your eyes. You're about to explode. You're like a firework. You're going to erupt. But you don't. Because that's not you. If you could strangle that person, you would strangle them. And sometimes it's justified. They may have done something wrong. But you know what? A lot of times it's not. It's based on envy and jealousy, which is haram in Islam. Or it's based on misinformation. But at the end of the day, he's living his life, but you're not living yours. So who's the one in the negative? Who's the one that's being disadvantaged? You are. By who? Not by him, by you. By you. You're your worst enemy. You're causing this to yourself. Sit there day and night, pondering, wanting evil to this person, wanting bad to this person, want this person to be stripped of every good. You know, even if someone were to hurt me, upset me, and bring me down or whatever, it does the worst thing. You know, one day, I always say this to myself, you know, one day, if I lose all my money and I have nowhere to stay, wouldn't it be fascinating that the person that will come to my aid is the person that I have a grudge against? Wouldn't it be fascinating that the person that you hold hatred in your heart for years and years and years is the first person to run to your aid, to help you? Why? Because that's how the world works. Sometimes we overdo our perception of people. We overdo how we feel about people for no reason at all. And a lot of times when you sit down with that person, you realize that he's not a bad bloke. He's not so bad. He's alright. I don't know why I was holding all these grudges. He's okay. This is the problem. Forgive and don't go to sleep with any hatred or grudges in your heart for anyone. Because at the end of the day, who cares about anyone? Who cares what another person does? Who cares about another person's life? What you see on the outside, unfortunately, never reflects what's inside here. As long as you have comfort in your heart, tranquility in your heart, what you see from the outside and what you see other people do is not important. I remember a situation where a person was complaining about so many people, this person, and this person, and that person, and this person said this, and that person said that, and this person, and this person. Hold on a second. Forget all these people. They don't exist. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself and your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't worry about anyone else. But my neighbor this, and my brother-in-law this, and my sister-in-law this, and my father this, and my this, and my mother-in-law this, and my mate this, and my friend this, and the sheikh this, and stop! Who cares? That's not going to help you. That is not going to get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's only going to distract you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do for those that used to interfere or used to divert the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or his companions away from their direction to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They used to move away from them. وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ. Move away from the jahil, from the ignorant. They should just walk the other way. Walk the other way. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Think to yourself, brother, if you die, I'll pray janazah on you. If you need money, I'll help you, but that's it. See you later. Nothing to do with you. I love you for Allah's sake, but I'm moving away. And so whatever diverted the Prophet ﷺ or the companions away from their mission and their goal, what they would do, they would just move away. It's like something, food is being placed. Even, this is on the big scale, even the small scale of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when there was food that was in front of him, that was placed, that he did not want to eat, the Prophet ﷺ would just move it away. He would not eat from it. He won't sit there picking and holding and why'd you do this and why'd you... No, simple. Don't want something, just move it away. But don't sit there holding in your heart and your soul, and it becomes a topic of discussion to every person that you meet. Yani, as if every person knows your life or your life story about who hurt you, who upset you, who this, you're holding grudges. Give it up. Give it up. Because at the end of the day, that is going to take you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In your salah, you're going to be thinking about it. In Hajj, when you're making tawaf and and subhanAllah, instead of making dua to Allah to forgive you and may Allah grant you paradise and may Allah help your family and help your parents if they're old and all these things, instead of focusing on that dua, you're making dua against that person. So you're losing at the end of the day. Because when someone else loses, it means you didn't necessarily gain anything. But if that person stays in this situation, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you gain and that you build yourself. You want to every day build yourself higher and higher. And not do things that drag you down. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروا فإنه الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. See, every person will have that annoying person in his life. Every person. As if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed that person to test you. To test your heart, to test your soul. Wherever you try to avoid, that person just pops up in your face. But that's how you make the best of a situation. You know, in sport, they call it sportsmanship. So even when they're playing soccer, football, whatever, right? Doesn't matter how rough the game is, how many fouls, how many penalties, how many this, how many that, how many times a guy stepped on your head, how many some guy kicked your shins, and how many times someone broke your ankle, and whatever. At the end of the game, everyone shake hands and they forget. It's over. And you find the players that hold grudges, it affects their playing. It affects their life. It affects their career. So they always try to encourage what they call sportsmanship. That's in a game. Well, life is like this game. You're going to come across people that are going to kick your shins, push you down, step on you. Right? They would have a red card. There will be a penalty called if there was a referee. But you don't have a referee following you around everywhere. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to shout at you. They're going to swear at you. They're going to say so many things to distract you. But just like sportsmanship in sport, the Prophet ﷺ encouraged like a life type of sportsmanship. Meaning, At the end of the day, let it go. Don't hold it here. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Brothers on anti-anxiety, antidepressants, this, that, whatever. Why? Because they're holding on to things here. If holding on to them was good for you, then it will bring you closer to Allah. But obviously it's only bad for you. So it's taking you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Akhi, when's the last time you prayed Fajr? I can't remember. Why? Because I don't go to sleep till about 3, 4 o'clock. That's what time I end up falling asleep. Why? Because brother, my head's moving around. I'm thinking about this, thinking about that, thinking about this guy this, and this guy ripped me off, and this guy this, and this guy hurt me, this guy. So to the point that's even affecting your Fajr prayer. And shaitan is riding you like a bull. He's on your back, riding you, enjoying every moment of it. That a person, he enters paradise because he lets his grudges in his heart go. He lets hatred, envy, anything in his heart against anyone, he lets it go before he goes to sleep. So we call that in Islam a remedy, a treatment, a solution. So when a person comes and complains and whinges, the answer is right there. Before you go to sleep at night, humble yourself in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Know that whatever Allah has given you is only going to be good for you. Not every person can handle what another person can handle. Some people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests them with their wealth. They might appear to be rich and have money, but that's their test. That's their path possibly to hellfire if they don't pass the test. And so likewise, we look at the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where the Prophet sallallahu had the choice to be wealthy, to live a wealthy life, or to live as if he was poor. And the Prophet ﷺ chose to live a simple life. Why? Because that is better to have less than that which you need than more than that which you cannot handle. So you put your trust in Allah that He's put you in the best situation that you are capable of being in. That's good for you. So don't look at others. Don't care about others. Worry about yourself. Worry about your responsibilities. Worry about your rights to other people. Worry about your relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't worry about anyone. Say what you're allowed to be envious of and to be jealous of. I wish someone, he walks into the masjid and says, Akhi, I'm tired. Why? I didn't sleep last night. Why? Because I was jealous. Why were you jealous? I was jealous, bro. I had so much envy and jealousy in my heart. Why? Because I met a guy yesterday that knew more Quran than me. Do we find that? I met a guy yesterday, he studied more, he's memorized more hadith than me. He's got more knowledge than me. And I couldn't sleep at night because I was so jealous. That's the type of jealousy we should be having. But do we hear that? No. That's the jealousy that we should have. But jealousy, grudges, hatred, all that stuff put together, it will linger here and it will drag and it will blacken the heart and it will destroy you as a person. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت ربنا أعطينا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة. Someone make a comment. لا إله استوى اعتدلوا الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء